noticed the bank had come right out and I was about to paddle straight onto the bank. So just spotted it in time. I thought, oh, I'll go through that way, and I thought, oh, sugar, no. Anyway, hello paddlers, welcome back to my channel. Been a lot of big boats up and down here lately, and that's why, I don't mean like jet skis are out, I mean they've been moving some of the boats down different areas and switching stuff around. But yeah, that's why a lot of this has got all pulled out and stuff. But yeah, so back on the water again, and got a couple of things to tell you. But the first one is, right, I've been doing some research. In the UK, it's against the law with up to a £5,000 fine not to wear a life jacket when kayaking. So if you're caught without a life jacket on when kayaking, there's a £5,000 fine. And if emergency services had to be called out, and the reason why you're in trouble is because you didn't have a life jacket on, you could actually go to prison. Yeah. So there's another reason you must wear a life jacket. Anyway, I'll talk to you more about that later on because I've only just come out. Okay, so watch out for the rest later.
I come from down in the valley, where mister, when you're young, they bring you up to do like your daddy done. Me and Mary, we met in high school, and she was just 17. We drive out of this valley down to where fields were green. We go down to the river, and into the river we dive. Oh, down to the river we'd ride. Then I got married pregnant, and man, that was all she wrote. For my 19th birthday, I got a union card and a wedding coat. We went down to the courthouse, and the judge put it all to rest. No wedding day smiles, no walk down the aisle, no flowers, no wedding dress. That night we went down to the river, then into the river we dive. Oh, down to the river we did ride. Yeah, yeah. Got a job working construction for the Johnstown Company, but lately there ain't been much work on account of the economy. Now all them things that seem so important, well, mister, they vanished right into the air. Now I just act like I don't remember. Mary acts like she don't care, but I remember us riding in my brother's car, her body tan and wet down at the reservoir at night on
I know I made a video or mentioned in a video about it don't matter which way you paddle, right, as long as you're happy, that's right. I will suggest one thing though, because I just noticed somebody, right, I'm not putting it on camera because I don't want to embarrass them, because I did stop and mention it to them and I go, oh thanks a lot. Right. Paddle however you want if you're having fun. Like I said, it's different if you're training or you want to this or you want to that or whatever, but if you're just out to have fun, paddle any way you want. One thing I suggest, I saw this guy and he was pulling and pulling and pulling, and I explained to him, let me just move this back so you might be able to see better. As this end of your paddle goes in and pulls towards you, and that side pulls towards you, you know what I mean, as you take a stroke, use your opposite hand to push the paddle. As in, if I'm taking a stroke there, I'm using this hand to push. You get me? So I'm pulling and pushing. So this arm ain't taking all the strain. I'm not. I don't know if this will show up, but he was like that. Just pulling with his arms. You get me? And I could see on his face it was a strain, right? And I just stopped and explained to him, if as you put your paddle in, if you push with the opposite hand, pushing, I'm overemphasising here, you don't exactly move your body like, but if I hold the paddle a bit closer, which you shouldn't do this, but it might show up better on camera, as that goes in, I'm pushing forward with the opposite hand. I'll just do it. I don't know if it'll show up because I think the camera's too close, but if I just do a couple of strokes, I'm pushing with the opposite hand. Right, so if that blade's in the water, I'm pushing with this hand and vice versa. So you're pushing forward, you're not just doing the one-handed pull. Right, you're using both hands, both arms each time for your stroke. Right. And that's how you also get torso rotation, because as you reach forward, your body automatically twists. And you'll find, because you're using both arms, both lots of shoulders and your hips on each stroke, right, you'll find it a lot more comfortable. Right, but like I said, I'm not telling you how to paddle. This was just that I noticed this guy was just pulling. So if anything else, even if you're taking short strokes, push on the opposite side, right, and you'll find it much more comfortable. Okay, that's enough of me waffling. Just thought I'd mention that because he was appreciated, so I thought he appreciated it, so I thought I'd mention it. Might be somebody else out there like that.
This heat's about to get to me. It's been 56 days, over 100 degrees, and it's kinda gotten to my head. My attitude's been a little on the edge. Hey girl, what you say we get out of here? I'm talking about a river and a cooler of beer, and I don't think we need nothing else. Just you bring your good-looking self. I'm gonna float through this hot day on a cool river. Gonna keep a drink in my hand till I can't remember what it was that I couldn't get off my mind. Well, here we are. Welcome to the good times. Got a bartend, so grab me another one, I'm ready again. And girl, that bikini sure looks nice. I really like the way it brings out your eyes. Float over here and give me a kiss. Life don't get no better than this. Sorry, been stressed the last few days, but thank God this water just takes it away. I'm gonna float through this hot day on a cool river. I'm gonna keep a drink in my hand till I can't remember what it was that I couldn't get off my mind. I'm gonna go with the flow wherever it takes me. We gotta drift away now and again. Gotta get free, like the clouds in the sky with a pretty girl like all mine. Well, here we are. Welcome to the good times. I ain't ever gonna leave. Gonna sit right here in the shade of the cypress trees. Crank it up loud, I love that song. Got the whole damn river singing along. And I wonder if we kept floating, could we go all the way to the Gulf of Mexico? I'm gonna float through this hot day on a cool river. Gonna keep a drink in my hand till I can't remember.
Coffee time. This should be easy. I'm right on the edge. As long as I don't lose my balance, which I didn't. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Don't know if that's going to show up, but there's cockroaches and not cockroaches, beetles and flies and they're all over the place, crawling all over. But yeah, looking at what a fantastic spot to stop. Yeah, didn't even have to stand in the water, just stood straight out onto the path, so to speak, onto Mount Rockmore, straight out. Sorted, don't even have to go in the water today. Okay then, life jacket, the laws. I said at the beginning of the video, I made it all up as a complete and utter lie. There is no law that says you have to wear a life jacket in the UK when kayaking. Now, ask yourself, did any of you turn round and say, oh, if there's a £5,000 fine, I better start wearing my life jacket? Right? If you did, it shouldn't be because of the risk of a fine, it should be for safety. And personally, I mean, in America it is law. If you're in America paddling, you have to wear a life jacket, right? PFD, something like that. That's the law, that is the law, and you will be prosecuted. And I hope they bring that law out over here. Right, because it doesn't matter how great a swimmer you are out like that. If you got into trouble because you wasn't wearing a life jacket, you have to think somebody has to try and help you, and that person could get into trouble. You get me? Get drowned or whatever. But it happens. People try and save other people, and both of them end up drowning. And then what happens if the emergency services came out? Right, they have to launch a lifeboat for you or something like that. All that costs money. All because you won't wear a bloody life jacket. But yeah, I only said it at the beginning because I was trying to make a point, because I'm sure there'll be at least one or two people who'll say, oh well, if I'm going to end up with a fan I might as well wear one. Well, the thing is, it shouldn't be like that. It should be a case of you should want to wear one all the time. Better safe than sorry. Or better safe than dead. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Not to mention, right, if you fall out your boat, right, it's much easier to, I nearly said sit then, it's much easier to float next to your boat and figure out how you're going to get back in if you've got a life jacket on. Right, if you're trying to tread water because you haven't got one on and you're sinking, right, it's a bit more complicated trying to figure out how am I going to get back in my boat. Right, whereas with a life jacket on, you're just floating next to your boat and you can take your time, you can relax, and you can think about what you're doing. Alright, plus if you couldn't get in your boat to the side, right, so you can empty your boat, climb back in then from the side. If you've got a life jacket on, you're just floating and just kicking your feet, dragging your boat, pushing your boat, whatever, real easy. But if you haven't got a life jacket on and you're trying to push your boat, you're going to keep going under the water as you push it. Trust me, you will. It's physics and I'm a professor. And if you believe that, you're more gullible than anything. But no, it's not a law. I was just trying to make a point, but it should be law. Like I said, it's law in America. So if you go fancy in a holiday in America, you have to, by law, wear some sort of PFD or a life jacket. It's the law. Anyway, I wonder how many people started typing the second they saw that at the beginning of the video without watching the rest of the video. Started typing. I wonder if I get any comments that say, you're wrong there, I've just got up to 2 minutes somewhat and you've said it's not the law, I don't have to wear a life. Bound to be somebody. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm not being clever or funny or like that. It's safety. Your safety and other people's safety who may have to come and rescue you. Right, I'm just going to relax, finish my coffee and watch all these bugs and flies and everything, and then get back in my boat. Oh, the big snail there as well, look. Not a snail. I've had to change seats. I checked, this area isn't crawling with bugs, but it is over there. But no, there must be some flowers or something in there, but there's wasp after wasp after wasp just buzzing around constantly. It was starting to do my head in. I mean, I'm not worried about wasps and stuff, but when they're buzzing your ears and they're all over the place, you get me? So I thought, I'll move. So I've just moved over here. Anyway, that water looks nice, so I think I'll go for a swim. I'll plonk the camera down so you can watch me diving. Okay. Why, are you crazy? Do you think I'm crazy about diving in there? It's not hot enough today. Actually, it's a bit chillier today, right? It's not cold, don't get me wrong. Right. But the other day it was like 74, 75. It really did get nice and warm. Whereas today it's about 68. However, they have said, weather forecasters said, by 2 o'clock this afternoon onwards until about 6, I reckon, it could reach mid-70s again. But I won't be here by that time, so I've come out early. But I mean 60 odd degrees, and I timed it right. I kept a check on the tide. Right, by the time I go back, in fact it's already turning now, right, so I'll have the tide with me on the way back, and hopefully a backwind, because I've had a headwind all the way here. Lady walking by thinking, look at that crazy man talking to a camera. I think nowadays people are so used to it. Oh, a boat coming up. Just in case I have to grab my boat because it's not secured down. that should be perfect for people who's not sure. That boat had slowed down, and you saw what it did to my boat. Now you imagine when they don't slow down, how much rocking about you get. Right? Now imagine you've got a brand new paddler on the water. Right? Don't know how to handle things like that. You get some idiot speeding by, not that guy. You get some idiot speeding by, your boat starts going like mad, that person's falling in. Now if they're stupid enough not to be wearing a life jacket, it's become more serious. But the bottom line is, right, if you see a speedboat coming, even if they've slowed down and you're a brand new paddler, just move to the side. Let them get past you. Make sure you're near the shoreline. Right? And that way, if they do speed up or whatever and you can't handle the bumps, at least you're right near the edge, and you could, if you're falling, you could just get straight out. Okay, I just thought I'd mention that. I'm back. I was just thinking about what I was saying about it's not legal. It's not against the law not to wear a life jacket. It's not like it's not law that you have to wear a life jacket when you're out on the river, in the sea or something like that. You should know though, a lot of these lakes and private lakes and areas, like where I went the other day, that Lady Bower Reservoir, you have to have a life jacket on to paddle there. Right? And if you don't own one, you have to hire one. Right? So that's going to cost you. So if you're planning on going to a few places, and you'll find most private lakes and stuff like that, right, you will have to have a life jacket. Right? In fact, I'm going to say all of them. Right? You will have to have a life jacket on. Right? And if you don't own one, you're going to have to hire one for the day. Don't know how much it's going to cost. Right? Might be a tenner. If you can afford a tenner every time you go out, if you go into the same sort of areas, that's fine, but it's much better to buy a life jacket. You don't have to spend a fortune. Right? I mean, there's some on Amazon for £30. I don't know if they're any good, but they're better than nothing. You get me? Better than nothing. Right? But if you do your research, look around, you might get a really, really good one on offer somewhere, special one on offer or something like that. But yeah, so just remember that though, private lakes and stuff, right, you have to have a PFD on to go paddling, and if you don't own one, they're gonna charge you to hire one. And then you're wearing somebody else's, and if it's a hot day and they're sweating, you're gonna have all their sweat on you. And if you've took your shirt off and it's on your skin, and it's just one disgusting thing after another. That's a roller coaster of disgusting, because I can't see a place washing them down after every single use. Maybe at the end of the night, but not after every use. But yeah, so just something else to think about. Anyway, I've had my coffee. I'm going to get in my boat and start heading back. I might just leave the camera on here and just paddle out a little bit just to get a good thumbnail shot. Not far. I mean, I don't see the point. You know them videos you watch where you see people in the kayaks arriving and then leaving and stuff like that, so you know they've already been there, they've set up the camera and everything, paddle back out and turn around and paddle back in again, and do that in reverse when they're leaving and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, you're going backwards and forwards to get your camera. I don't get them. You know what I mean? It's like some hiking videos I watch where people go hiking and you're seeing them, the camera's sort of like right up there and they're walking up the trail, or they walk past the camera and they go miles, well not miles, but they go walking right. You know they have to come back and get the bloody camera again. I just don't get that. The funniest one I saw, right, was this guy, not far from here, only about 3 hours. There's this big rock face, right, 3 or 4 hours rather. There's this big rock face, and he had his camera at the bottom, right, and he'd been camping down there, and he had to climb up the rock face to get back to his car. You get me? He'd sort of like come down and he had to climb back up to get to his car. And he left his camera down to film himself climbing up. And all I could think was, you're going to have to do that again, because you're going to have to come all the way down, get your camera and go all the way back up again. Well, the funniest thing is, obviously he did that, but at the end of the video, he actually said, I wish I hadn't done that. I had to mess about going up and down. And the second time when he came back up, right, after getting his camera, right, he'd whacked his knee and he'd cut his knee open on the ledge. Which isn't funny, but it's kind of funny because he was messing about with them camera shots. And I just don't get it. I just don't get them. You sort of like walk right past your camera and keep going up a hill, and I'm thinking, you have to turn around and come back for your camera now. I know some people think that they make the videos look better, but I personally don't get it. I just think it's crazy. But going back to it, I might just leave my camera on there, just paddle out a little bit, just for a thumbnail. But making sure it's right close to the water so I can just grab it without getting back out again. Anyway, yeah, so let's get back on the water. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, go. Okay.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah.
They're not all mine even, just stop walking.
Gonna say you'd have your hand full at home.
Oh, they drive me crazy, but I love them. Leave, Bob's ready. Leave. Make a leap. Leave. Bobby, leave. Ready. Leave. Wait. Go.